Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's been very unlucky the last 2 seasons. He's looked as if he's going to make the top 16 breakthrough, and the way other results have went against him.
John's probably the best match player there's ever been. I think I've played him 4 or 5 times. Can't honestly say I've ever played bad against him. I can't honestly say he's ever played bad against me.
About 3 or 4 years ago, he was a player that he was probably going nowhere. You would see him at some tournaments, and you wouldn't see him at other tournaments. He was like a journeyman.
He's not number 1 anymore. I think he's down to about number 5 or 4 or something like that. But it doesn't matter. When he's on, he's still hard as nails.
He's one of the stories that I think a lot of the players that are lower ranked just now can look up to him.
I love playing the top 4, 5, 6 players. It's, you know, if that doesn't bring the best out of you, nothing can. So I'm looking forward to a good game. You know, if it's anything like the ones we've had in the past, it will be a good game.
Good evening. The home nations may be in World Cup football action tonight, but our match of the day pits Scotland against England as Glasgow's John Higgins meets Preston's own Ian McCulloch, the man who made it all the way to the final of this Grand Prix event last year. And he is guaranteed a lot of success and a lot of support from this Guildhall crowd tonight.
Hi, I'm Ian McCulloch, and this is where it all started for me. This is the O'Reilly Snooker Club on Guildhall Street in Preston. I first came in here about 1987, and sadly it shut down in late 97, and it's the first time I've been in since 97, so it's about 8 years. I sort of like learnt my trade here. Made my first century break here just 10 yards back that way on table 6, the old table 6, and I had a match table put in right at the bottom down there. You know, Dennis Taylor used to come up a lot and play, and it was good. It's sad when you see how it is now. You know, to how it was about 1990. They give it a bit of a refurb, and Mike Halleck came and did the opening night. I think he played 6 of us and lost to 5 of us. There's a couple of photos over there. Obviously, I don't know how they've got there, but. From when they did the opening night and Mike came and opened it, and there's a few pictures of all the lads all together. So like sat around the pool table, and there's one of me. I was about 18 or something like that, so it brings back a lot of memories. I know when the club shut, they was talking about turning it into offices, and obviously that hasn't happened, and it's just become derelict, and obviously whoever's been in's been having a bit of fun. I've sort of like carved a little niche for myself. I've become quite good at winning when I'm not playing well, because you don't play well all the time. You know, I will win a ranking tournament. You know, I know my game's good enough to win a ranking tournament. If you look at how many semis I've been in, a couple of finals now, semis, you know, I don't think it's a case of if I win a ranking tournament, I think it's a case of when I win a ranking tournament. You know, I'm meant to be over the hill at 34, but I seem to be getting a little bit stronger every year, and I like, you know, shooting everybody up in a way.
And of course, Ian McCulloch will be hoping to go one better than he did here at the Guildhall last year when he reached the final before losing to Ronnie O'Sullivan. But he's up against a very tough opponent, great match player in John Higgins. As for the other match, well, 7 times world champion Stephen Hendry takes on the ever-improving Mark King, and that should be a cracker. So the players are ready. Let's get them out into the auditorium with our MC, Richard Bear.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to the Guildhall here in Preston. And now for the introductions of the players. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome on table number 2, Mark King and 7 times world snooker champion, Stephen Hendry. And on table number 1, ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome into the arena, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ian McCulloch and the Wizard of Wishaw, John Higgins.
Have a good game, play well.
And in this match, the Scotsman's had the better of the two. 3 wins to McCulloch's 1. And now to the next instalment. So as they waltz into the arena, we welcome Willie Thorne and the elegant Dennis Taylor in the commentary box.
Thank you very much, Hazel, and a warm welcome for both players, but probably a warmer welcome for Ian McCulloch, the local
Thank you, ladies and
player
gentlemen.
here.
The first frame, John Higgins to break.
Really looking forward to this match. Well,
Higgins, sorry Dennis, is one of the very few players still, isn't he, to break off the other way around. Most players playing behind the green. John Higgins, for a right-hand player, is one of the very few players to play that way around.
well, that brought back a few memories, watching that little bit with Ian McCulloch walking around the old snooker club in Preston that I used to spend many hours. He would say he's won more fivers off me than I won off him, but I don't think he's quite right on that one. And just in the last couple of seasons, well, he's starting to show the form that he did in practice, because he knocks century breaks in for fun, does Ian, and he's starting to play in matches the way he does in practice, and that's key. That's the key to success.
Yes, every player's dream is to bring their practice game to the match table. Ian McCulloch's starting to do that now. The young man at the table, John Higgins, has been doing it for many years. In fairness, the last couple of years have been very, very disappointing for John Higgins. I've had the utmost respect and love watching this young man play, but he'll be very disappointed the way the last 2 seasons have gone. Still, for me, one of the hardest players in the game.
Six. Seven. Twelve.
This time he has got the right side of the blue. Key red is obviously the one to the left of the black. That's always going to cause a problem in the frame.
$18.
He looked very good against Paul Davies.
$19.
Beat Paul 5-1 in the last round, but there were signs of the old John Higgins there. Oh, this is a poor shot. Oh, is he okay?
24.
He didn't want to be anywhere near the pink, but he can just get through to the potting angle. Almost snookered himself there.
25.
Good recovery and good angle again on the blue. We'll know after he gets rid of the red to the right of the black now whether this top red will pot, the one next to the black. I'm not too sure whether it will. He's getting rid of the awkward red. Just wonder, Dennis,
30.
whether that one will pot or whether he have to play a cannon.
I think he's finished pretty straight on this. That's the red which won't pot, I don't think, but he's straight. Might be able to develop the red and black here looking at that angle.
31.
Well, he's perfect on this red now. He just has to virtually stop the cue ball dead and leave the perfect angle on the black to go into what is now the pink rather than the back of the bunch. The pink's gone at the back of the pack because the pink spot is occupied.
37. $38.
Doesn't want to hit the pink. He wants to cannon into the red to the right. He was pointing his cue there. That's the one he wants to cannon with a little bit of screw on it and plenty of pace. Well, he's played it gently this time, so he's brought 2 in, so he'll have to go back into them in a couple of shots' time. But this is a promising start from
45.
John Higgins, all created with his break-off shot.
$46.
Nicely on the blue, but this was the break-off shot. Okay, he's trying to get the white tight on the ball cushion behind the yellow. Hit it a little bit too hard and finished up snookering in McCulloch, and this is the result.
Looks like the end of break, and it's not the end of the frame.
51.
51 points is not enough with a possible 83 left. So it's only a safety shot coming up here. So McCulloch was going to get a chance that I'm sure a few moments ago he perhaps thought he wouldn't.
John Higgins, 51.
Ian had a quick look to see if there was a possible plant on, but the 2 reds that are together are not in line for the left corner pocket.
Well, we were directly down the line there, and looking at the angle, I thought, well, if he plays the pot, he'll do very well to avoid the kiss on the pink. Okay, he hit the red very fine. But looking down the line as we were there, I thought he was just playing a thick safety shot. But he's got away with it. He's been fortunate. This was the one. I thought, well, unless he plays it half ball, he's bound to kiss the pink. But luckily for him, the cue ball's gone in a safe area. So no damage done.
Now, one of Ian McCulloch's great strengths is his long potting, and he can get to a red to have a go at it here. That's the red that Ian can get through to pot. And he doesn't refuse very much. He's got to swing the white around off the top and side cushion. So he hasn't had an easy putt to go at. And if this red goes in, you would think John Higgins would take this opening frame. Well, that looked pretty comfortable. Surprised he missed that one.
I don't know why it is, Dennis. I can't work it out with the likes of John Higgins and Stephen Hendry, Steve Davis. The older you get, the more often you see them miss easy shots. Now, I don't know whether it's lack of concentration, I don't know whether it's alignment, but John Higgins the last 2 years has missed so many straightforward pots. Sometimes looks unbeatable.
One.
Doesn't have to go into the 3 reds. When he pots the 1 to the right of the 3, it will clear the path for at least 1 of the 2 reds remaining for the other corner.
Seven.
Ian playing to get the black back on its spot. And he's usually pretty dangerous from this sort of position. Okay, it's his first chance in this frame. Be interesting to see how many he makes.
Yes, the fact that he's left-handed makes the red on the cushion slightly more difficult. He'll certainly have to use the rest for that one. But he is one of the best players in the game. Just overran that slightly though, so you have to see how good he is with the rest here.
Now, if he screws back, which he'll have to do, just be careful with the white. It might go in the right middle pocket. Got to be a bit careful here. Uh,
15.
I don't think that red passes the black, the one that's closest to the black. So he'll have to play for the one to the left of those 2 balls. Or if he nudges the red, he could free the black. What a shot this could turn out to be.
20.
He's a bit unlucky. He was just a fraction away from being absolutely perfect there. It was a very attacking shot he took on. He's played the blue, but look at the side on the white, and he's trying to just disturb the red. And was a bit, if he hit the red half ball, he'd have been perfect there.
Taking the opportunity of bringing what is the only safe red into play. Needs to cover the red by the brown.
20.
But he has kissed the brown, so that's now he's now put himself in trouble. John Higgins will get very close to being in behind the brown here.
That's the angle he's got to get in behind the brown. Just underhit it.
Two ways of playing this. You can either play it very, very thin to go in behind the brown, or you can try and hit it half ball and swing it round 3 cushions rather than 2 to still get in behind yellow and brown. It depends which way he fancies the shot. Played the thin one. Caught the black, which he didn't mean to do, but it's okay.
since Ian McCulloch's old club closed down, he has to make the journey from Preston over to Great Harwood, where he practices at Potter's Club there. Nice little club with 7 tables in it. He's got his own match table to practice on.
Well, he's played a couple of poor safety shots here, but as yet got away with them.
You fancy this red going in the opposite corner pocket? John's playing a safety shot, but the red will go close to the right corner pocket here.
You knew what you were talking about, Dennis.
1.
Yes, those shots are always on, but a player always plays with the element of safety with a cue ball. One good positional shot. Well, I thought he might attempt the brown, but he's decided to keep things tight.
John Higgins, 1.
Now, one of Ian McCulloch's other great strengths is his knowledge of angles. He's very good at getting out of snookers, and he's in a bit of a snooker here. So he's going to have to find, well, at least 2 cushions to try and nestle on one of the 2 reds to keep it safe here. Twice across the table. That's the sort of angle. He might come in behind the reds, but that's the sort of angle he's looking for.
A foul and a miss. John Higgins, 4.
Yes, I think he'd ideally like to rest on both of them, Dennis, wouldn't he? And if he goes around the back again, he's lucky there, he left him hampered, otherwise John Higgins would have played the red along the cushion. So similar sort of line. But he'd like to rest on the 2 reds together.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's... Now, is he going to change his mind? But that's what he would need to do to rest on the 2 reds. I think he's trying to come in behind them. That might just do as well. That's a terrific shot.
John's just got to be careful he doesn't catch the yellow with this safety shot, because he's got a chance of getting in trouble. Well, he didn't even entertain the yellow, he just made sure of a good white. Sometimes it's not all about getting a snooker, sometimes giving plenty of distance between cue ball and object ball to make the safety difficult. Ian can't play the thin safety shot down the left because of the pink. He'd be worried about cannon into the pink. So this is not a bad shot from John Higgins.
Well, that was a very fine shot from a very fine player. He didn't mean to hit it that thin, though. And that pink that's safe is very good from John Higgins's point of view. Quick calculation, if Ian McCulloch got a chance and even got 3 reds, 3 blacks, he would still need that pink, which is safe. So that's a nice little bit of insurance for John Higgins at the moment.
If he could cue this, he'd take this on, but so excuse me, but the fact that the brown is hampering his cueing means he'll probably decide on the safety. He could play safe off any one of the 3 reds, but unfortunately for him, the brown is causing big problems.
He's underhit that. He was trying to get over in the jaws of the pocket, and the blue would have blocked the path through. There was a red near the pocket. Ian knocked that away, but he's left this one.
One.
37 the difference. The black will put him 44 in front, with just 43 left on the table.
Still not potting them clean at the moment, John, there. That black was pretty straightforward, and it certainly wobbled a couple of times.
9.
Perfect angle on the black here to nudge the red into play. The frame's now over, so that's what he'll play. This black here, see, it went well off the near jaw. So it appears to be most pressure shots John's struggling with at the minute. He looks still as good as ever when he's either clearing up or early on in a frame. Would you put John in your top 4 or 5 players ever, Dennis?
You would always put John Higgins up there. It's amazing, he has slipped down the rankings to world number 6 provisionally on the one-year ranking list, number 7, but I would always have him in my top 4. Such a good match player. And I think it's a bit of a record that he holds. He got to be world champion and world number 1 in 6 seasons.
$29. $34. 40.
What a great start for John Higgins. He opened with a break of 51. He finished the frame with a break of 47. He takes the lead. It's 1-0 to John Higgins.
Yes, Higgins off and running, but guess who is still flying the flag in this Grand Prix tournament for the Golden Oldies? Twice a winner of the title, the Whirlwind. Because he clocked up his career century today in a 5-2 victory over Flintshires Ricky Walden, a man nearly half Jimmy White's age.
Very good player, you know. I had to be on top form to win. I lost the first game. I just about fell over the line in the second game. Then I got it going a bit. The interval sort of spoilt my rhythm a bit. And then I had a massive Steve Davis fluke to go 4-2 up. And I made a nice 16 and last. You know, I'm playing well. It's hard with these young players. They're playing week in and week out. And you know, he's definitely a player I should be watching in the future. He could pot some from off the lampshade. I don't enter any tournament to go, oh, well done, you got to the semi-finals, or well done, you got beaten in the final. You know, I want to win the competition. Semi-finals is, you know, good for a ranking situation, but I'm playing every tournament to win. So I'd only put in a little bit of practice and just hopefully I do well. I always come to win.
And a good win today for Jimmy. OK, back to our featured match and back to Willie and Dennis.
Thank you very much today, Hazel. It's always nice to see the People's Champion battling away. We've got Preston's local hero playing here on this table here, McCulloch. Very good all-round player, but he's playing against a player that has been one of the best all-round players of all time.
That's a good shot from John Higgins. He's spread the reds, but he's found a very difficult spot for Ian McCulloch. At first glance, no easy way back down the table. opened the reds up, got a good cue ball. Well, there is one safety shot, although Ian looks as if he's taking a pot. He can get down the table off that red, but it looks as if he's having a go at a difficult pot here. Oh, that's a nice... Well, I suppose he deserves a bit of good luck there. It was a brave shot that he took on, because if he missed it, he was putting John Higgins right in them, but the cannon on the black, what a bonus. Let's just have a look at the cannon here. Couldn't have worked out better.
Yes, he played just to float around the back of the black, but with a pot like that, you make your own luck, and that's one of the occasions where he did get a bit of good fortune, but deserved it. It was an excellent pot. Unfortunately for him, the black's tied up, but he can get the pink into play here by playing the red next to the pink. That will free the pink spot area. And he can work on the pink for the next 5 or 6 reds. Doesn't have to worry about the black for the moment.
Nine. $15.
Ian's got an amazing snooker cue. It's about 4 inches longer than a standard size cue. He's quite a tall chap, but in my 30 years as a professional, I've never known anyone with a cue as long as the one that Ian uses. But it suits him.
Yes, he always used to say, Dennis, didn't it? Just on your shoulder height or just below shoulder height. I think if we ever get a chance of seeing Ian stand up next to his cue's definitely higher than his shoulder.
22.
Yeah, I used to make fun about his cue. I said it's like a small telegraph pole you're playing with, Ian. He doesn't have put it to good use. And that shot there, you could see he was 4 or 5 inches down the cue. Most players are right at the end of the butt of the cue when they're playing. But in round the pink like this, he's got such a delicate touch.
30.
Yes, it's one of those unusual situations, especially with so many reds being left on the table, that the pink is available in all 4 of the main scoring pockets. That hardly ever happens with 10 reds left on the table. But that's the situation here, so he'd be disappointed if he doesn't win the frame at this visit.
36. $37.
Didn't quite get that back. He wanted the white back another couple of inches. As you can see, slightly tougher the angle now on this red, and he's having to stretch quite a bit to get to it.
44.
Good recovery there.
It's pretty tough here to hold for any of the reds, and because of the reds are spread wide, it's hard to come on and off the back cushion to get onto one. So I'm just wondering whether he's going to risk playing the cannon on the either the pink or the two reds to the left.
He could get on the two reds if he goes in the gap there with a little bit of side. It just depends how he feels. Now, has he hit it hard enough? He's just a wee bit short.
49.
Yes, excellent line. Another 2 inches of pace. He would have been on both these reds. Still a red you would expect to pot. He may even take it into the green pocket rather than into the middle. He has an option here. He has a choice.
Ian McCulloch, 49.
He knew that was the key to taking the second frame, and as soon as he hit it, he was up on the shot. He knew he hadn't made the correct contact. Let's have a look. You can see the red. He's already up his in and away. He knew he had missed it to that right corner of the pocket.
One.
Well, it's a similar scenario to the opening frame where John Higgins started with a 51. McCulloch had a chance to pinch it. This time it's McCulloch who started with the high break of 49. John Higgins has a chance to pinch it.
Four.
He's got a lot of work to do, hasn't he, with the couple of the reds tied up. That one next to the black's a bit of a problem, but he might be able to resolve that.
5. $11.
It's essential to get high on the pink here. It's no good finishing low, otherwise he'll have to go in and out of baulk. So rather screw back too far than not enough.
If it's straight, just where the cue ball is at the moment would do him.
Yes, the reason Dennis mentioned that is because he can then play the cannon into the two reds, which is
12.
absolutely perfect now.
He played that with a bit of pace, thinking that maybe he might even have freed the black there, but it hasn't worked out for him. See, that other red could have cannoned the black. This is such a thin snick if he's looking at this. Well, this will certainly open a couple of reds and possibly the black, but it's a thin cut. Oh dear.
Foul. John Higgins 18, Ian McCulloch 4.
Now that might not be all that bad, the white going in, because I don't think Ian has got an easy red to go at. So John's had a bit of a result there. It's a thin snick into the middle pocket. Because the black's a little bit in the way to get to the potting angle of this one near the right middle pocket. If he puts it there, it's a thinner snick, and he's got to watch the in off in the corner pocket if he takes that on. Well, he nearly went in both corner pockets, but he's finished on the blank. 36 the difference. Black will be 43. A couple more pots needed yet to secure the frame.
Yes, the pink's the easier pot, but I don't think he can get onto a red. He can finish, leave the cue ball somewhere near the black and pot a red to the left of the pink, but black's his choice. I don't know whether he can get round the balk area without kissing into the brown here. Well, he's kissed into the red, which is even worse, but goodness me, that's turned out well.
8.
I think he might have played the cannon here. Nearly potted the red. It was a good shot then.
Yes, I have to agree with you, Dennis. I thought at the glance from the commentary position it was too thin to hit the red, but he played it perfectly. Well played, deserves to win the frame.
It's building up nicely. This could turn out to be a cracking match between these two players. They've both got a lot of respect for each other. Now, what's he done here?
14.
He shouldn't have been anywhere near the pink with the cue ball there. There's the difference, 49. He only needs one more red, but has he snookered himself on it? Well, he's going to have to play it beside. Look where he's cueing. In fact, he's got to swerve right around that to pot it. So that was a very careless shot from Ian McCulloch. Because there's not a ball safe at present. So he's going to have to be very, very careful. Now, this was the shot. He got plenty of margin for error. I don't know how he managed to get into the pink there.
Ian McCulloch, 14.
Very good shot.
Yes, took his medicine there and decided to make sure of the snooker.
He can kick the red back up the table off those two angles.
Yes, John Higgins will be delighted to still be in this frame because Ian McCulloch's just one pot away from levelling the scores.
I'm just wondering if Ian can't get through to this red past the blue, will he play a similar shot? I think John Higgins in the previous round cross doubled a red when playing a safety shot. I'm wondering if Ian might do that with this red on the right side of the table. That looks a bit tight to me. He's got to play this with a trace aside, I feel, if he's going to take the pot on. No. It's a bit too risky. He's put the red on the cushion. And John Higgins doesn't really want it there, so he's going to knock it back off the cushion.
What he's trying to do here is hide that red behind the blue and yellow, but he hasn't done that. If the red next to the pink pots, he'll try and cut that in and play the cue ball back into balk. As long as he avoids the jaws of the middle pocket, the white should be safe.
Yeah, he's very unlucky. He got so close to the pot that the red hasn't wobbled and gone away from the pocket. It's sort of stayed there. And what a chance for John Higgins.
Well, fantastic pot, because he can get on the more difficult red now. He can play around the back of the red and still be on the one in the middle if he's not on it. But let's see which way round he plays this. He's played for a choice of both reds there. He's played for the one in the middle, and if he went another foot further, he'd have played the one in the corner. I think I'd have preferred him to go around the back of that, Dennis, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think he's got to take the pink here, but looking at the difference, if he plays for the blue, let's just have a reckon of the score. He's going to have to take a black off the last red. There's 40 the difference. In fact, he's going to have to take the pink now anyway, otherwise he could only tie if he potted the blue.
So this time it's 2 cushions. If you nudge it, it's fine. If you don't nudge it, it's still okay. Well, he hasn't played that well. Played around the back of it. Now, he could have been very lucky. If this red passes the yellow, he can just stop
50.
the white dead and have a half ball black.
34 the difference. He needs a red, a black and all the colours to pinch the frame by a point.
Well, it's obviously not straight, so he's trying to screw back to get a little bit closer to the black. Didn't come off the cushion. This is tough, this black. Really tough.
A little bit more pace would have been better, but it was a good pot on the black, and you need an equally good one on the yellow here. What a body blow this would be for Preston's Ian McCulloch, because he looked odds on to take this second frame, and just one careless positional shot has cost him.
28.
Can't do anything about it now. He's just got to sit and hope that John can make a mistake, but you can't see it, can you?
I mentioned earlier in commentary that Higgins started with a 51. McCulloch had a chance to pinch it. McCulloch this time started with a 49. Higgins had a chance to pinch it, and it looks like he's going to do just that. It should be 1-all. McCulloch knows he's 2 shots away from 2-0.
43.
Well, breaks of 51 and 47 in the opening frame, but by far the best break in the match thus far. A break of 50 to clear to win by 1 point. He leads 2-0.
Ouch, and that is a sore one for Ian McCulloch indeed, John, isn't it?
Very much so. That is the art of becoming a champion at snooker. Winning the frames you should not win. I mean, anyone's great when they can get in the balls and make a break and hundreds and that, but winning frames and pinching ones off your opponent that hurt, that's how you end up winning tournaments. And
it was that long red, really, from John Higgins that gained him the momentum to be able to go on and take that frame.
Well, the interesting thing with the last red is, Hazel, this is actually not an easy shot. Cue butts up in the air, and actually, if you hit these hard, the cue ball actually tends to stay virtually where it is, which is what happened with John, but he's cued that so well that basically he'd like to have come a little bit more off the cushion, left himself a tricky black there, but played it really, really well up for the colours, and that's a massive clearance.
And this is important for John now, because we've seen over the last couple of seasons, when he's hot, but he does have a tendency to lose concentration. How important the next couple of frames for him, John?
It's important to have a good tournament. He needs to get off, you know, today we saw his wife saying, you know, it's time not to be content, it's time to go and be a snooker player. You know, he's got a lovely family life, a couple of children and everything. He's got to get back in the battle and win those battles and start being a regular tournament winner again, because he's got the game to do it. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And the boys said in commentary that they put him in the top 4 players. Well, I'd be putting him in the top 3 or top 2, because when he plays properly, he's as hard to beat as anybody.
Yeah, he's certainly playing properly at the moment.
Yes, I really enjoyed that last frame. From a neutral point of view, it was excellent snooker. He's got a good temperament, Ian McCulloch. He'll put that out of his mind. Yeah, just going back to John Higgins, it's, as John Parrott knows, it's just a matter of confidence, and John Parrott, I still feel, has got a tournament in him. If he can win a few matches, get his confidence up and running, that's the name of the game. And John has struggled a little bit with his confidence, John Higgins that is. But when you win a few matches, and especially if you can win a tournament, that confidence soon returns. Look at Stephen Hendry back at #2 in the world, and people were saying, well, you know, Stephen Hendry's finished. I don't think so.
Another tempter for McCulloch. Doesn't half hurt you when you're sitting down in your chair or coming to the table 2-0 behind when you know you should be 1 each. Now these kind of shots become a little bit more difficult. If you're 1-all, you'd think, well, I'm going to pot this, no problem. 2-0 behind, it all of a sudden gets a little bit twitchy. Great pot. Not on anything. The red has obscured the blue, so I think it's only a safety. Green too dangerous.
Well, he's looking at the pink, but if he takes the pink on, is he going to be hampered with the red? That looks very tight. Well played, that's a great shot.
Seven.
He had a great run in the very last Embassy World Championship back in April, and I thought he was going to beat Matthew Stevens the way he was playing, but we had a chat afterwards about it, and he really did push the boat out. He went for shots that he shouldn't have done, but he had such a great World Championship, and it's given him so much confidence. He eventually lost 17-14 in that semi-final to Matthew Stevens.
Yes, and the key thing about that run in the Embassy World Championship meant that he was in the top 16 for the first time in his career.
8. $14. 15.
Yeah, McCulloch made a break 49 in the previous frame, made mainly from pinks. He's going to have to do a similar thing here to get a sizable lead in this frame. But hopefully not for him, end up with the same result.
$21. $22.
That's perfectly played. He played the cannon on the red to hold for the pink.
$28.
It's amazing. This is following the same pattern as the previous frame. He did all his scoring on the
29.
pink.
Of course, if Ian goes on to win this frame now, he'll be
35.
sitting down thinking, well, I should be 2-1 in front. But what he has done, of course, is stopped it being 3-0 if he can win this frame, and that means he's right back into the match.
36.
Might have to play for the blue this time.
42.
He's going along very nicely here. Just starting to get a little bit awkward, but the reds are still well placed. And he's looking good
43.
to win this frame here.
Well, he's doing his best
Foul.
to
Here,
make
McCulloch 55. John Higgins
his
4.
work a little easier. Strong favourite where the balls are this frame. But we thought that the last frame.
One.
What about that for a cue action? To knock the red in, and not only knock the red in, to screw the white back and leave the perfect angle on the blue.
Six.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do with the way the reds are situated, but you wouldn't put it past John Higgins producing something special here.
7.
If we could have lost this frame, we could see him jumping off the roof of the Guildhall. Has he given himself a chance? I think everything's covered here. The bottom one of the two above the black, that
30.
may just sneak in. Let's have a little look at this one. Oh, it's close. If he does play it, the pace he's going to have to play it, he'll have to play for the black. He can't play it hard. Can't play it hard. He's whacked
40.
it in it. On our camera angle, it looked like he'd only hit one jaw. That's a great shot. This is worrying times now for McCulloch fans.
Well, Ian's wondering what's happening here, and just looking at this angle he has on the red. No, he'd probably play for the pink. I thought he might have just slipped in behind the black, but well, he has done.
20.
This is key shot coming up here. He's just got to play this correctly so that he doesn't snooker himself on the red when the black's respotted again. No. A reprieve
20
for Ian McCulloch. What do you think, Willie? Would you have played for the pink or left the difficult black? I think the pink was the shot.
I think so. I mean, these pockets are tough along the cushion, and the way John Higgins is cueing, he was putting himself under undue pressure there. Now 31 points in front of McCulloch with 2 reds. There's the first. The black is no problem at all.
1.
Can he get onto the last red nicely? Of course, it's the last red as far as he's concerned.
He'd like to be able to drop in the circle with a little bit of right-hand side. Is he going the other side? He's going the other side. And he's missed the red. Well played.
8. Nine.
Yes, I think it will be a very relieved Ian McCulloch. He looks in terrific form, but there was the slight
50.
possibility for a while that he could have been 3-0 down.
$16. Touching ball, please nominate. Green ball.
He does pot some balls, this fella.
$21.
Well, I bet he doesn't pot this one. Too thin a contact. It's there. It's an easy shot. That piece of cake that was.
24. $28.
Is he trying to break the pockets?
$33. $39.
A great frame for the Preston
46
potting
in the
machine.
frame.
Ian McCulloch breaks a 55 and 46. Give him the third frame, but he's still one behind. It's 2-1 to John Higgins. Yes, he really did need the frame, Willie. I think you mentioned if he had lost that one, he would have been, well, pulling his hair out.
He's getting there, isn't he? He's getting a bit thin on top, bless him. Yes, this is a match that so far could have been 3-0 either way. It's been a very, very high quality game. Both players have had chances in each frame, but only really 1, maybe 2 chances maximum. And I think just on reflection of the game so far, I think the scoreline is now fair. That's the magnificent arena here at the Guildhall.
Frame 4. Ian McCulloch.
And it's Preston's Ian McCulloch coming to the table in the last frame before the mid-session interval. A frame, obviously, he would dearly love to win.
foul and a miss. John Higgins 6. Okay, come on.
Well, the reason he's played it ultra thin, he's always worried, or everybody's worried when you're playing a safety shot like that, not to push a red over the left-hand corner. That's why he had on the thin side, but obviously now the white's come back into open play. Look how thin this was, hardly moved at all. This is a red that John Higgins would normally knock in probably 9 out of 10, but last couple of seasons he's not cued these as well as he used to do. But no problem this time. Chance to get a lead in this 4th frame.
Seven. 8. 15. 16.
Couple of reds available into the right corner pocket. They're all blocking each other into the pocket he's going to pot the black, as you can see there. Might have to go up for the blue here, but that shouldn't be a
23.
problem for him. Got a bit of a heavy contact, took the pace out of the cue ball, and now he's got a stun over. He can stun this red in and drop somewhere near the arrow. It doesn't have to be on the arrow itself, but just that side of the blue anyway. And he's gone the other side, and as he left it short, has he got a bit of angle? Yeah, he's okay.
$29. $30.
Everything now covering each other up, so if there's anything available in the middle, he'll try to get on one. Otherwise, he's going to have to really play this at pace and try and bounce the cue ball on and off the cushion and try and make something happen. Not guaranteed to come out on a red here. There's the bounce of the cue ball, and that's beautiful. I think the middle one of the 3 pots.
37.
Yes, the middle one does pot, and he can just possibly play it slow enough to hold for the black. No, he's
38.
one good pot away from making this a frame-winning opportunity. This has been a very, very good break.
$45. 46.
A very high quality match, this mid-session interval coming up. And both players seem to be in fine form. Very little missed. And I think that's just paved the way for the frame. That cannon into the reds has freed enough
52.
of the balls for John to clinch the frame now.
$53.
No really big breaks, but what have we had? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 half centuries and 3 40-plus breaks.
$59.
Nice easy plant. That was unmissable,
60.
that plant. So one red and colour. Sorry, one colour, then one more red. And it'll be 3-1 at the interval. And this has been a really top quality match. Top quality. Both players hitting the ball very nicely.
Yes, Ian will play a lot worse than this in his matches, and he'll go to the
65.
mid-session interval 3-1 up, but on this occasion it's going to be 3-1 down.
Well, that
66.
secures the frame, and Dennis just mentioned a few moments ago, everything but a sentry. If this blue goes in, he's got a chance of getting on the red nearest the blue, but it didn't go in.
John Higgins.
So barring
66.
snookers, it will be John Higgins who goes to the interval 3-1 in front. But Preston's Ian McCulloch entitled to carry on here. Only 2 snookers needed.
One.
Fully stretched here in McCulloch. He needs the pink. The blue's easy, but he needs as many points as possible here. And that's a pretty good shot he's played there. If he can get 3 reds, 3 blacks, and leave that red that's to the left of the pink,
7.
he would have a great chance of getting a snooker if he can get that far. You know, there is a bit of a chance here for Ian McCulloch, and John knows that only too well. He thought the frame was well and truly over. And then he missed that blue. But if Ian can get a couple more reds, a couple more blacks, and as I mentioned, leave that one to the left of the pink, he'd be certain to get a snooker.
$16.
just know that John Higgins knows, Dennis, don't you? That in a couple of shots' time he's going to be tight behind the pink.
23.
It's amazing, this game at times. He should have been in the dressing room. Should have had a cup of tea in his hand. You would still make him favourite because Ian at the moment needs 2 4-point snookers, but if he gets tight in behind the pink in a couple of shots' time, there's always a chance of a free
24.
ball. Now, he played that a little bit short. He may have to go past the pink now and then play it that way. Let's just see what angle he has. Now, he could hold it. Now, if he gets tight in behind the pink, and if he can get the red in a difficult spot as well, and if he could get the red somewhere near the green or brown, it would make it doubly difficult.
Ian McCulloch, 31.
Didn't want to cannon the blue. He's got the snooker, but the little shake of the head tells you he didn't want to knock the blue safe.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of pressure off the snookers when you know that there's another saving grace for you, i.e. a ball on the cushion. If the ball's in open play, when you're playing out of a snooker, you think, well, I can't miss 2 on the trot because he can clear up.
Should be able to get out of this. I think that's the angle he needs. Oh, he's missed it by a long way.
A foul. Ian McCulloch, 4.
And what a good chance. He can play it 2 ways here, white behind the brown or white behind the black. It depends which way he fancies playing it. This is an excellent chance for the snooker he needs.
When you're in this situation and you've got a chance to play a snooker, it's always a good thing to try and keep the red safe also. This is a pretty good effort. He's got the snooker and he's blocked the 2 cushion escape off. This is not straightforward to get out of. If he goes that way, he's got to play it with a lot of left-hand side to make the angle, Willie, I would have thought. I don't think he can go. He's digging down, playing it with lots of sides, so he'll have to make the angle.
And just imagine if that blue had still been in open play, what had been going through John Higgins' mind when playing that shot, because he knew he had to hit it. Another good chance though for Ian here. And it's another one. These are not easy. When the balls are in the middle of the table, these are always missable. I'd prefer swerve here, Dennis.
In fact, Ian has blocked off the 1 cushion escape, so it's going to have to be 2 cushions. Got to be very precise with this. That's a great escape. We could call that the old Steve McQueen, The Great Escape. Remember that film, Willie?
If the brown wasn't there, this would be so easy to get in behind the green, but he's going to have to avoid the kiss on the brown. That's why he's had to play it a different way. Yes, the brown was causing him all the problems there. That was the natural angle for the red to come on and off the cushion. Now John Higgins can gain the upper hand here, play the cross double, play the white in behind yellow and green. Well, I played it the other way around, but played the red up that area. Still the same thing. Avoiding the kiss on the green on the way back with the red is Ian's problem here. Would you risk playing 2 cushions, Dennis? Because I think if he plays it up and down, he can't avoid the kiss on the green, can he?
Yeah, it's just, as you mentioned, the black's hampering everything here. Looks as if he's playing the red direct. He almost sneaked in behind the brown. What a bit of good fortune that would have been. But I think John can get to the potting angle here.
Well, that assures the scoreline reading 3-1 at the interval.
1.
Both players have been a little bit careless towards the end of each frame. Could have, maybe should have been 2 each, but on reflection, I think Higgins has just been the better player in the first 4. Here, McCulloch will be disappointed
3.
not to have won 2 of them, though.
5.
Very few mistakes. Both players' pot success rate are still over 90%, which is excellent.
8.
That won't worry John Higgins.
8,
He started
and
with
the
a
frame.
66. He did his best to give McCulloch a chance. McCulloch didn't get the snookers required at the interval with 3-1 to John Higgins.
Frame 5. John Higgins to break. Ordinary spider. Ordinary one. Swan.
Very, very hard to be able to screw back and get close to the black from here. Good shot, that. He's got an angle now to either go into them or
1.
play the cannon. He should, the middle red of the pack. That'd be nice, because he'd be on the choice of 2 reds. This is all about the kiss on the red below the pack. The middle one of the 3, just above the black. He's missed the kiss. Now, he might not be on anything here. That wasn't the red he played to hit.
8.
He wanted to hit the middle red there, and he just missed it, look, you see, and that's why he's gone off the edge of the bunch. I'm not too sure whether there's anything on. The one to the extreme left of the pack will pot.
foul. Ian McCulloch 8, John Higgins 4.
Well, there is a red that John can sneak in here. I thought he was going to sneak that in. He's looking at the straight one, which means he's going to stop the white dead for the pink. Now this will test his cueing. If this goes in, he'll give himself a great chance, and it'll give himself a lot of confidence. He's cueing well, is John Higgins.
1.
What a beautiful pot. Made us a little bit easier, to be fair, the fact that nothing potted in the left-hand side, so it was made to be a shot to nothing, but beautifully cued. But that's not, I don't think. What did he play for there? Is there a plant?
7.
Well, he's overscrewed it by about a good 6 inches. No wonder he's smiling to himself. He can't believe what he's just done. Was that outside red? That'll go. It's amazing, isn't it?
John Higgins 7.
That's about the first careless shot that John Higgins has played tonight, really, as far as positional sense is concerned. After that opening red, he'd be very disappointed to only scored 8. Ian's decided to have a go at this long red. Don't know whether you can screw back for blue or bought colour. Oh dear. Played for the pink, went all out for the pot and hold for the pink now. What damage has he done?
One. Five.
Pink's available into the corner, so if he can hold it, he'll hold it for the pink in the right-hand top pocket. Doesn't look straight enough, I think, to make the hold a guarantee. Now, if the hold's not on, I can't see how he can get back out in open play, so he may have to play a cannon.
Yeah, if he can't, he'd have to go that route, wouldn't he? And avoid the reds. And if he does go that route, he would finish on not the pink, certainly the blue. Can't see any other way he can get on a colour.
It's tough to play that shot plain ball though, and if you just put a little bit of left-hand side on, he'll finish very, very close to the cushion.
Six.
Played that very well indeed. A little bit harder would have been perfect. Blue still on. Until the two reds to the left of the pink have moved out of the way, this is not a frame winning opportunity. You can see the pink's available into the same pocket as the red, but he won't be playing for it this time.
12.
I think a little cannon here on the two reds to the left of the pink is the correct shot because it clears the pink. I just wonder whether John will play that. He has played that cannon and played it absolutely perfectly, and that's the art of good break building. That one shot has now created this into a frame winning opportunity. See, the two reds, he needed to clear the path for the pink. Excellent shot.
$18.
He's done very little wrong this
24.
evening, John Higgins.
25.
He's just made the odd mistake, but there hasn't been many. There's
John Higgins,
a
25.
mistake. Okay, he was bridging over the red. If he had have been dropping the pink in, there'd have been no problem. The fact that he had to stun it in and bridging over the ball made it rather awkward. See, just that red's just distracting him. Now, could that be a big turning point? Because the way the reds had opened up, it was a great chance to pinch the frame there for John Higgins in one visit.
1.
Now there's 4 loose reds, but the black's still tied up. Be interesting to see Ian's choice of shot here. He's just looking to see if one of the two reds pots. If not, he could even play a cannon here and bring the black into play. He would be guaranteed position, you would think. Well, he's going to pick them off
6.
one at a time.
Well, I think he's missed the boat there, Dennis. He may not get a better angle than that. John Higgins did it on the previous shot when he brought the reds into play around the pink, and I think Ian should have definitely brought the black into play there. He may not get the angle again.
Seven.
Going to have to be a long blue. Something on the cue ball just distracted him there. Alan Chamberlain. The referee will probably a little hair or something. I think sometimes when you have the ball cleaned, it just takes your concentration away from the pot.
Did well to compose himself there, having finished on top of the pink. He was entitled to be a little bit disappointed at the poor positional shot, but good recovery. A good shot here. He's looking at the slightly more difficult red to bring the black into play. This is probably the reason he didn't play the cannon. Maybe he felt all the time that... Well, Dennis, we had a look at the first camera, and I honestly didn't see how that red could pot.
I think he was just concentrating on the cannon, but it's very tight, wasn't it?
Is it the red half ball?
He's usually very good with his shot selection, is Ian McCulloch, but just think early on in that he should have tried to bring the black into play, as we mentioned. Let's have another look to see if that red... It did look to be very tight. He never got anywhere near it.
Well, whatever the scenario, it could be frame over. It's been a strange match for John Higgins. What looks like now to be going 4-1 in front, it could have been oh so different, and it still might be, because I think that's end of break.
16. This is a strange frame of snooker, this one. John has now landed almost touching the red. He can't get through to the potting angle of the one he played for. Amazing. I didn't hear, well, did he declare touching ball there?
I'm not sure, Dennis, to be perfectly honest.
Well, if he plays off the red, we know we know it's not touching.
I mean, on the green, Dennis, is where he'd like the cue ball to finish, isn't it? But how can he get there if it's not touching?
Well, it's not touching.
John Higgins, 16.
Well, this is a tempter for Ian. What John Higgins did there was just made sure that he got a good white. He'll be horrified. He's played the pink and lost position early on in the frame carelessly, and the positional shot he played before that was extremely careless.
Well, if this red goes in, he'll give himself a chance. If it doesn't, you would think he was going to leave something. Very unlucky.
One.
Full-blood attempt at the pot. He knew he was cannon into the red and the black. He's unlucky not to be on the black.
Maybe green into play, Dennis, if you can see the green.
That would be a good idea, Willie, but I think I'm down the line of the shot and I don't think he can hit the green full ball.
Green ball.
Well, he can. It's a good call, Willie. Got to cover the reds, though.
Ian McCulloch, 1.
Hasn't moved it very far, but at least it's now in a potable position.
At this level, it's very rarely you see frames that could have gone either way. Virtually every frame in this match is to and fro. One player looks certain to win it, the other player's had a chance back again. This is another one of those frames. Higgins should have already been sat in his chair 4-1 in front. It's not over yet.
One good pot, one good positional shot, and what a chance for Ian McCulloch. He's got to force this to get out onto the black.
One.
It'll be very interesting to see what part that green plays if Ian can get as far as that. Because it was tight on the cushion.
8.
And he dislodged it just a little bit. And it could be key
9.
ball. It's in a potable position now that it's off that cushion. Much easier to get to the yellow
16.
from blue or pink. It just depends on the angle he has here on the red.
17.
And he might be a wee bit short. Might have to use a cushion to get back onto the yellow. Another 2 inches and he could have just knocked the blue in and dropped in behind the yellow. He's got to go in and out of the balk area, you would feel. Or can he hold it? He's very good at this type of shot. Yeah, he's left it awkward now.
22.
Well, that was too tough, especially because he needed to be high on the yellow to get onto the green. Now, even if that pink wasn't there, he'd have had to play with an awful lot of side to hold for the green.
He's one of the best players I've ever seen at striking over the top of a ball. He'll probably miss it when I've said that, but he's so good striking over a ball.
24.
Won't attempt the pot now, but the green up towards the black and the snooker in behind the brown and pink.
Another excellent frame. We haven't had a bad one in this match. Higgins has made a break of 66 in the previous frame. No, this is the first frame we haven't had a breakup of 40.
Well, I didn't spot the double into the middle pocket,
27.
Willie. How lucky was that? Because he hit that all wrong. I mean, the green should have been 6 inches short of the middle pocket to get the snooker, but what a slice of good fortune.
Pot or snooker here?
I think it's... That's what he's just thought as well, pot or snooker, Willie. He's a very attacking player. John Higgins is wondering, is he going to play the snooker or is he going to play the pot?
Ian McCulloch, 27.
It's hard, Dennis, isn't it? Some players may have played the pot there after a fluke, some don't.
I think if you're 3-1 in front, you play the pot. You're 3-1 behind, you play the snooker.
The old scenario, no problem hitting it, it's getting it safe. Doesn't mind giving a couple of 4-point penalties away.
Ian McCulloch, 4.
But it's all about when he does eventually hit it, can he get it safe? Well, you couldn't have this. You couldn't play this with a gun at your head.
Yes, I think he's just trying to fool us. That white's always going to go back there. it's not that easy to hit because he's got to come off 2 cushions, and with the brown being away from that side cushion, you've got to be so precise.
Closer.
Yeah. Oh, I think I've got my first line all wrong. Let me try that one again.
Happy with that?
It's like one of your trick shots, Dennis. You want 3 tries.
That's a bit near to where he's got to go.
Brilliant. That could have gone wrong 9 times out of 10. The one time he played it perfectly. Had to hit it half ball and played it to the edge. Two problems for Ian. Whichever way he plays this brown, straight up and down, the double kiss is on. If he plays it thin to get the white up and down, the double kiss is on. It's all about avoiding the kiss. It can make you look so silly, this shot, Dennis, can't it?
And don't be surprised if he doesn't fancy the safety shot. Don't be surprised if McCulloch doesn't have a go at this. That's what he's thinking about. He's thinking, well, both the safety shots are difficult. Should I have a go at the pot?
Yep, I think he's decided like you, Dennis. Because the double kiss is on, he's taking this on. Don't blame him, but it has to go very close to make it a shot to nothing. Good white. How's the brown? Not so good. It's a shame. He was forced into that.
Yeah, I don't blame him there for having a go at the brown because the safety shot was so difficult. And you've always got a 50-50 chance of the brown running safe. Now, has John overdone this? Is he going to land on the blue? Okay. Up and down the table.
Nine.
It's one of those matches where Ian McCulloch looks as if he's going to be 4-1 down, and he could quite easily have been 4-1 in front. And John Higgins will be absolutely delighted to have pinched that frame. Ian McCulloch is 4-1 behind. He's got it all to do. Yeah, both players have popped out of the arena quite rightly, I suppose, after that frame, and we'll pick up the commentary when they return.
6-3.
Well, if ever
Ian
a
McCulloch.
scoreline didn't really tell the full story, this is one of them. McCulloch's had a break of 55, 49, 46, 31, and he's 4-1 behind. This is top-class snooker tonight. 40s usually make you almost favourite to win the frame. Not the case this evening. Very unusual to see a professional player play a double, but he played that one.
1.
And luckily for Ian McCulloch, he hasn't got to get angle on the yellow to get back onto a red, so he'll be tucked up behind the yellow, but he won't mind that, because the pack's quite easy to hit off a couple of cushions.
John Higgins, 1.
Looks like Ian has been left enough room to play one cushion just in below the pink. The 3 reds below the pink are a big target. No need for Dennis to put his line in there because it was just relatively straightforward snooker. Has he slipped by these reds, and does this bottom red pot? If it does, it's extremely careless from Ian to not hit the pack full on. I think Higgins fancies potting this. The cut. Let's just have a look at the angle he has on the red. Yes, there's the red that does pot, and he can hold for the black.
It looks as if he's covered it, but I'm just thinking there's a red at the back of the bunch. He can swerve around the black, but there's another red at the back of the bunch. If he could knock that onto the red that's over the pocket, he would open the reds up and a good chance of finishing on the black. That's the red in the middle of the circle. If he can knock that onto the red that's over the pocket, the white will go straight into the reds, and he could finish on, well, he'd be hoping to finish on the black, and it would give himself a great chance. He's covered the black.
1.
It's going to have to be a long straight blue. Now, he's normally very good at this type of blue, but he's 4-1 down. Very well done. He knows he can't make many more
6.
mistakes. But he's pretty good under pressure, is Ian McCulloch.
Seven.
And again, a little bit careless. He's given himself a little bit to do with this black. Whenever you're cutting a ball back into a blind pocket, they're never a certainty. Another 2 inches, the black's unmissable. There, you never know. Well, that wasn't the bad shot.
Ian McCulloch.
The bad shot was the red with the rest. Couldn't afford to finish low.
Just caught that near cushion. They won't go in.
Okay. 1.
This match has been so very, very close. Ian McCulloch's only 60 points behind on aggregate, but he's 4-1 behind in frames.
Well, what was that, Ian? He's on to hit that by quite a margin. It's amazing how far he's away from his position there. That's where he wanted to be, and look how short he's finished.
Looks like he's made his mind up now to attack everything. I don't know whether he's playing the one in the middle, or yes, he is playing the one in the middle, screwing back off the bunts for pink or black. Good pot. Oh no, the black's gone in. Has the black been covered? Luckily for him, well, not luckily for him, because he did play for the choice. He played for choice of pink or black, so he's still on the pink.
Make no mistake about it, Ian McCulloch, although he's 4-1 down, I know how he thinks, and he'll still be thinking he can win this match.
16.
He's got a lot of confidence in his own ability, and that's the way you've got to think.
$22. 23. 28. 29.
Good shot there from Ian.
36.
Getting this red out of the way should pave the way for... Wow.
37.
You know, he hit the black on the way through there. That was amazing. I was going to say it should pave the way to win the frame, but that was a nervy one. Just have a look at this. Black just moved fractionally.
Go on. $44. 45. $52.
John Higgins just wondering if Ian can somehow make a mistake and let him back to the table, but can't see it. This is the key one. He's missed it. Ooh,
53.
Any more pace that wouldn't have dropped. 59 the difference. Just the black will do.
$60. Ian McCulloch, 60.
Well, that's a little bit careless, but barring Snookers, the fact that he's 66 in front, he should have done enough to make it 4-2. But John Higgins is a master in this situation. Every frame, this match has had a certain twist.
1.
He's only 1 point beyond an aggregate now, Ian McCulloch. But unfortunately, he's 4 frames to 1 behind.
$8. 9.
Yes, John Higgins nods to Ian McCulloch, and Ian McCulloch, with his highest break of the match thus far, a break of 60, has kept himself in the match, but he still trails by 4 frames to 2. Well, Dennis, Ian McCulloch did what he had to do there, make almost a frame-winning break, and 60 was pretty good.
Yes, John Higgins missed that red that was near the right corner pocket and left it right in the jaws, and it was all in. But he's very good under pressure, and he still feels that he's got a good chance in this match. But he's got it all to do.
Yes, for our interactive viewers who are watching this match, another one of Preston's local players, Stuart Petman, is playing against Lee Walker, and their match is at the mid-session interval at 2-all. And the legend Steve Davis is playing Nigel Bond, and he's 3-1 in front at the mid-session interval. They're on the outside tables.
John Higgins to break, frame 7.
Absolutely dead straight. Perfect cueing required here. Or the double kiss. The old dreaded double kiss has left John in.
One. John Higgins, 1.
That's what we were talking about, Willie. John Higgins at times looking as good as ever he done, and then suddenly he misses a sitter.
Seemed to lunge at that one there. Yes, he didn't seem to stay still on that shot. We may get a chance at some stage to show you that.
1.
Just watch his little bit of body movement there. Seemed to just duck his head into that as if he was trying to generate a bit of spin that wasn't necessarily there.
Oh, he's trying to go around the angles. He didn't get anywhere near the line there, did he?
It might be okay though, unless he's hampered by the blue.
6.
He wasn't hampered, this red would pot.
Ordinary spider.
Yeah.
McCulloch, 6.
Now, if this red was a little bit to the right, John could have a go at this and go into the black and reds and open them up, but he can't do it from the angle he's got here.
1.
Well, this was really an excellent effort. So near the cushion to be able to put that amount of right-hand side on was an excellent shot.
6.
If you played that shot 10 times with that amount of side, you're likely to miss the blue at least 3 or 4 times because of the proximity of the white to the cushion. Very close to playing it perfectly.
John Higgins, 6.
Just a bit concerned about coming off the side cushion and into the pack. He's afraid to leave that red that's near the middle pocket. That would be his normal escape, but if he catches them wrong, he'd leave the red. Yeah, the red in the circle he would leave.
Is he hard enough? I don't think he'll have these replaced. I think he'll take the long pot on here.
John Higgins,
because he knows that if he puts Ian McCulloch back in, he'll probably get the shot right next time. It's so hard to work out why John goes in and out of form in matches these days, whereas usually when he's cueing well, he cues well throughout the whole match. Just has a few lapses at the moment. That's a good safety shot from McCulloch. Excellent.
Terrific pot, but what a useful little nudge he had off the corner in the middle pocket. Just watch the white there. That'll do nicely. He's having a look to see what'll go in here. He's got a bit of an angle on the blue. He might be be able to force the blue in and cannon the pink. Spring the pink and the black free, and that's the shot if there's nothing on. Plenty of pace directly into the pink. Well, he spotted one in the bunch. Now what's on there? Is it a Just the one at the end.
6.
But he's got to get on the blue again. Now, will he get a better angle on the blue to go into the pink? He's nowhere near it this time.
Well, as you know, Dennis, I'm a massive advocate of going into him at the first possible opportunity, especially if you have the angle. And all I can say to Ian, and if he looks at this tape, is what would O'Sullivan, Hendry, Williams, Higgins, what would they have done? They'd have been straight into the bunch.
Well, there's a possibility. Let's have a look. The red onto the black onto the red to make a plant.
Blue ball.
That's on, you know, because although it's going to the left side of the pocket as we look at it, where the red is situated, he can make the plant. But he's got to pot the blue first. The only thing is, can he hit the first red thin enough? That's the problem. Maybe not as dead straight. If he tries it, I think it'll push the red away from the pocket.
I think it was worth the risk playing it, though, because it frees the black, but he's taken an alternative. Now, he doesn't want to leave John Higgins a shot as a shot to nothing, because Higgins will certainly play it. So this yellow needs to come in the way, and it has done. That's an excellent shot.
Well, there is a gap, believe it or not, past the yellow, past the blue, past the pink, to clip the reds and get back down the table. It was a guide. And what a result.
Yes, he may have lost his consistency in the break building department and may have sometimes now miss easy shots, but his safety is still the very best. There's no better safety player in the world than John Higgins.
Well, I was going to say he won't mind leaving a red along the cushion because the black and pink are tied up, but just looking at the angle he's left on this one, John might be able to get up for the blue. Needs to play it with quite a bit of pace, but he can get on the blue if he pots this.
Yes, John Higgins not worried at all about leaving this red on the top cushion, because the best that Ian can do is roll the red in. I don't know whether the black pot's in the middle pocket. I mean, you could risk rolling it in and then playing the black, but if it doesn't pot, that's the reason he's not even looking at it. a good safety would be the way forward here. Careful of the double kiss if he plays a thin safety. And he's got the double kiss in. I cannot believe you played that shot. It was tight on the cushion. How were you going to avoid the double kiss? Here's the red, look, it's tight. Unless he hits it so thin to hardly move the red, he couldn't fail but to get the double kiss. Now, John Higgins, you've missed a lot of times tonight winning the balls. How many will you score here?
He might have to use the other red here just to cannon on to and leave himself nicely in the black. Looks to have the perfect angle to pot the red, just nudge the other red. Can't believe this.
8. John
He only
Higgins.
needs one more frame. He's had a golden chance there, and that's just a lack of confidence. John Higgins a few seasons ago, no way would have missed a shot like this. 4-2 in front.
And you half expect it at the moment when John Higgins is playing. You used to be able to fancy him knocking them in no problem, Dennis, didn't you?
It really is hard to explain. It's just a lack of confidence.
Yes, it was a difficult shot. You can forgive him, but it's the easy shots he's missing.
Didn't get the
6.
contact that he was after there. When you hit them half ball, always a chance you're going to go near the corner pocket. This was the cannon. He wanted a fuller contact on that red. Didn't get it.
Here, McCulloch, 6.
Now this could be tight behind the green, and he needs it to be because there's a pot on. If this is straight, I don't think it's quite straight enough to hold for the black, and if he runs through, I'm not sure he can avoid the cannon on the red on the cushion.
Yeah, I think he might just have an angle to run through and avoid that red. Well, I'm right behind it, so there's just a chance he might avoid the cannon. That's if he wants to play for the black.
Yes, the other alternative is just play it at pace and make sure he avoids the cannon and go up for blue or bought colour with lots of topspin. The harder you play this, the wider the cue ball comes, which means the red on the cushion is not going to be in the way. See, at that pace it's gone wide, but he missed the pot by a mile. Has he left anything? I don't think so.
Yeah. If he hasn't, he's been very lucky, because Ian normally would have stroked that in and tried to hold for the black. He was compromising there. The red that Alan Chamberlain is cleaning might be in the corner pocket in a few seconds' time, because I think John Higgins can get through to it. So he's having it cleaned just before it disappears into the corner pocket.
One.
It's amazing, whenever it's a shot to nothing, John Higgins, you always fancy him knocking it in. He was taking the cue ball up the other end of the table, so there wasn't much pressure on that. This is a shot there's a bit of pressure on because he's near the cushion, and this will test his cueing.
5. Six.
Well, he's overhit that by 18 inches. He's just not cueing well at the moment. He played to leave that a 1.5 feet nearer the red. This is a little bit like a Perryman's break of old at the moment. Hasn't got the cue ball under control at all.
Perryman's, what a great potter he was, the South African champion for many years.
He had to be a good potter, and that's where the cue ball ended up.
Won the Masters one year.
18.
What was the interesting fact about him winning the Masters that year, Dennis?
Yeah, I think he made one 50 break, or maybe he didn't even make a 50 break.
Never made a 50 break and won the Masters.
See, you thought I'd get that wrong, Willie.
Yep.
Now, I can't see him getting to the 3 reds. Even if he cuts this red along the cushion and finishes on the blue, the pink is directly in the path of the cannon
25.
into the 3 reds. So he'll have to go up probably for the green here, or brown, to give himself a chance. But can he knock the red in?
John Higgins, 25.
But Ian McCulloch's left with the same problem. Can't get to the 3 reds from the blues, so he needs a good angle on the pink, and he'd have to be absolutely perfect on that. If he was a right-handed player, he could play over for the black. He could get right in behind the black, and that would give him a chance. If he could screw the red in and get the white over where the circle is, an angle on the black to then move the 3 reds, but he's a left-hander.
I'm with you, Dennis. I'd much rather go up for yellow or green.
1.
He needs an angle on this pink, and he's not got one. He's dead straight. So it's the blue, 2 cushions with side. I think it's the only hope. He's not even looked at the blue.
Well, he's got a slight angle. He's got a terrific amount of cue power with that long cue that he uses, but this would be some shot to create the angle. Doesn't look possible. If he does try it, just watch how hard he has to hit this. In fact, he hit it so hard he overdone it.
7.
Not much he can do with this. And there's a great deal John Higgins can do. I wonder, can he get away up the table without disturbing them? There's a funny little situation here. Both reluctant to try and get up the table because they could push a red over the corner. What do you think, a re-rack, Willie?
What Ian mustn't do here, though, in rolling up to these 3 reds, is leave a touching ball. You cannot afford to do that. So whatever he plays, don't leave a touching ball. I'll send him back to school if he leaves a touching ball. That's a good shot. It doesn't matter whether he goes in off in particular. It's just got plenty of distance between cue ball and object ball. It's just all about the next red. That 12-13 point lead that John Higgins has could evaporate very quickly. Whoever pots the next red, you would suggest is favourite to win this frame. Not now, though. That's an excellent safety. Put the red out of commission.
he's got the bounce off the ball cushion. He's on the brown. What a chance. Ian McCulloch will be fearing the worst here, especially if the red goes up past the black. The other one's ideally placed. Played for the easy one. What's the difference? 18. So that is the key red, the one he's looking at, to see if it'll pass the black. That could pave the way for John Higgins taking this match.
Six.
He's got an angle on the pink. He's got to be very precise. He could do with dropping the white. He could do with dropping the white in the circle. He's got too close to the red. Oh, that was rather fortunate.
12.
That's the one.
13.
26 the difference. He only needs the black, and Ian McCulloch will be at the snooker's required stage. It's been a very entertaining match. The Preston Potter's going to
20.
lose 5-2. He could quite easily have won the match 5-2. The games were that close.
John Higgins, 20.
So barring a couple of snookers, John Higgins is safely through to round 3.
Two. Five.
He'd be very disappointed, Ian McCulloch, playing in front of his home crowd here. He wanted to put up a better performance. As he played well, but it was just the way the frames panned
John
out.
Higgins, 5. Frame.
But he's a
and the
sport as Ian McCulloch. He comes forward, shakes the hand of John Higgins. The Scotsman will be very, very pleased with that result. He knows he was up against a tough opponent. He's safely in to the next round. Scoreline 5 frames to 2.